Hey, how are you? Slice of Otaku, and the Promised Neverland episode 2 was just as phenomenal as the first. Right off the bat, we're made to remember the events of episode 1 that changed Emma and Norman's lives forever with Emma's nightmare. And I'd like to think that a nightmare is its scariest when waking up isn't enough to end it. The terrifying thing is that this isn't abstract. It's more than likely what would become of Connie and any other kids who leave the farm. And I actually cannot get enough of this show's camera work. Like, they did not have to do that swing of the clock thing at all, but they did. And I'm the kind of person that just really appreciates the little things. Cloverworks and Aniplex are not playing around with this adaptation at all, and it shows. And speaking of showing, trying not to show any signs of fear or panic in front of Mama or the other children has to be the hardest thing ever, because only just a day ago, they were both open books with everyone. And to know that Mama is in league with the demons despite putting on the same charade effortlessly day to day has to be intimidating. And man, I really cannot get enough of seeing Emma and Norman put on their poker faces only to be gasping for air when alone. It just goes to show how desperately they desire to live and escape this place. And hopefully, you guys are beginning to understand why I love my nigga Norman so much. Every major deduction, every keen observation, every minute detail in their strategy, this man single-handedly comes up with it all. He is a genuine genius, and although he isn't the main character, his mind is integral to their operations. Now, something I found to be very interesting was the moment of Mama's probing. I mean, this was such an intense and unwavering strategic move she played on Emma. Like, this lady isn't to be trifled with. It's a reminder that regardless of what's out there beyond the farm, don't worry about that. For now, this is our big boss. This is who we're dealing with, and as it currently stands, she absolutely has the upper hand. Emma's remarks are bold considering her true feelings, and her actions just further cement the impenetrability of her mental fortitude when it comes down to it. So don't dismiss Emma as merely an overly optimistic fool. She is actually about the shits and has the guts to back it up. And on that note, let's talk about Ray. He is now in on the plan, but his way of thinking is easily the inverse of Emma's. She is optimistic, whereas he is pessimistic. His priority lies with the three of them alone, whereas she intends to save everyone. Now, with a story and situation like this, we as the audience are put in the mental position of, what would you do? And I think a lot of people, if not the majority of people, minus the moral pressures imposed by society, would align their thinking with Ray. However, you have to remember the social differences of Emma and Ray. Ray has always been rather secluded and indifferent towards everyone, with the exception of Emma and Norman. Emma, on the other hand, is a social butterfly who is close with everyone in the house. And based on how they're raised, they think of one another as siblings, as a family. And when you think of it in that way, I feel like her sentimentality is far more justified and understandable. Emma is our shonen protagonist. She is made to be humanity's best. She embodies the hope of mankind, and thankfully, not in an unreasonable way. Norman fully understands the concerns of Ray and honestly concurs with them. But Emma, she gives him hope. Hope for a future of living, not just surviving. Her stance, despite its objective ludicrousy, is something he's willing to work with. He plans to walk alongside her intentions, formulating a proper plan around it, effectively compensating for any foolishness with his genius. It's a bold way of thinking and something he can confidently proclaim only because he is actually that damn smart. And I just love intellectual and thought-provoking thrillers like this. Every episode they up the ante, and this time we have the introduction of another hurdle in the form of Sister Krone. So if you have any friends who aren't up on this show already, then you have to bless them. And hopefully you'll also consider putting them onto these videos. And let me know what you guys may be thinking about this episode in the comments as well. Thank you all so much for watching and have an awesome day. I love you.